Hello, everyone. I'm here with Cooper Harris. Cooper is a former college soccer goalkeeper playing at both Merrimack College and then transferring to Hobart College after 2 years at Merrimack. Before his commitment to Merrimack College, Cooper was a 4-year Leonard winner at Winchester High School in Massachusetts. He then went on to Cushing Academy in Ashburnham, Mass., where he started and played every game at the college preparatory school. During his college recruiting process, Cooper was looking at a number of schools in the New England area and eventually decided to commit to Merrimack. However, after 2 years at Merrimack College, Cooper decided to transfer to Hobart and William Smith College in Geneva, New York. Hobart seemed like a great place for a fresh start, and Cooper even transferred there with another former Merrimack College men's soccer player and very close friend. However, after one semester and a number of adversities thrown his way, Cooper left Hobart and was no longer playing college soccer. Cooper is here to tell you his story on his life as a redshirt student athlete at Merrimack, and then the harsh realities of transferring schools during his time at Hobart and Smith College. Cooper, how are you doing today?
Good, man. How are you? It's a pleasure.
I'm great. Thank you for being here with me today. So, Cooper, can you tell me a little bit about your initial experience at Merrimack College and what the recruiting process was like? And then, what was your reaction when you were asked a redshirt during the beginning of your freshman year?
Yeah, for sure. So the recruiting process for me really started sophomore, junior year of high school at Winchester. Um, I was doing a number of, ID clinics, reaching out to coaches, yada, yada, yada. Things didn't really work out that well. And unfortunately, I had a knee surgery junior year of high school. So that put a major bit of a setback on the situation. At Cushing, I was really on the fence about playing college soccer, playing college sports in general. So I was looking at a number of schools to just be a student, and then a number of schools in the area to play soccer. And inevitably, I decided that I wanted to play college soccer going forward. So I moved forward with one of the better offers that I had from Merrimack College, and I was super excited about it. One of my good friends at Cushing actually was also committing to Merrimack, and he told me to reach out to Coach Martone and the coaching staff there, and we did that, and then got committed, and it was great. I was super excited. Going forward into freshman year at Merrimack, I didn't even know what a redshirting was until probably 3 days into preseason, when our coach brought it up and was like, "Yeah, there's going to be a number of guys redshirting." And we had three goalkeepers at the time, and obviously goalkeeping is a tricky position, so there's only one of you on the field, right? And there's not a whole lot of use for having two or three guys on the bench, right? So coming in as a freshman, it was an obvious decision for a coach to make at the time. Didn't have the experience, didn't have the college experience, the playing level, and he wanted me to train and keep practicing and getting better. But at the time, my ego was through the roof, right? I just came out of high school, was 4-year varsity player, captain, all that stuff. So I was like, there's really not many people that are better than me. So that was definitely took a toll right when he told me that I was going to redshirt halfway through preseason. But I it didn't, you know, hurt me the way that I thought it was going to. I wanted to keep getting better, and I wanted to prove to him that I was good enough to play on the team. And so yeah, so I kept just practicing with the team and stuff like that, and it was good. Got obviously the guys on the team welcomed me and were had open arms no matter what, practices, trainings, all that stuff. Not being able to travel was tough. Not being able to sit on the bench during games was definitely tough. But at the end of the day, I knew I was still part of the team.
Yeah, that's really insightful. Thank you for touching on that. And my next question, you kind of started leading on to, but I was going to ask, how does being a redshirt affect you mentally? And then you also touched on it a little bit at the end of your statement there. Was there anything you felt like you missed out on or was possibly held against you because you were a redshirt?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing was held against me for sure. Like, obviously, coming in as a freshman, you're one of the lower guys on the pecking order, regardless. Being a redshirt didn't really have any effect on that, anyways. Uh, I definitely spent all of my time with the team on campus, whether it be getting meals, going out, having fun together, and practice and stuff like that. We were all always with each other 24/7. The only thing you really missed out on was traveling, which obviously you can definitely form some good relationships with guys like in the hotel rooms and just having fun like on away trips and stuff like that. So I feel like I missed out on that a bit, but that's only two or three, four maybe games of the whole season. So yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Okay. Okay. So after your redshirt year, you did one more year at Merrimack and you didn't see the field. And so you decided to ask for your transfer papers and you left Merrimack for Hobart and William Smith College in New York. You also left with your best friend Liam at the time, who was from the Netherlands. And this seemed like it was going to be a great place for you guys to go. Can you tell me what that process was like with transferring? Did you guys want to be a package deal where you went, or did fate just kind of happen to land you guys at the same place?
Yeah, so it was definitely interesting. After sophomore year, I realized there wasn't a lot of room for me on the team, which was a hard pill to swallow for sure. So after having a meeting with coach, I asked him to put me on the portal and I got the papers and started the whole recruiting process again, right? So we were both Liam and I were roommates actually, so we were both looking at a lot of different schools, a lot of reaching out to a lot of coaches and whatever. And it felt great, because it felt good to have people want you again. And so right away I emailed the coach at Hobart and William Smith, and I think within an hour or two he emailed me back and was like 100% I want you here. Um, let's do this. So I started to talk to him pretty intimately, and one thing led to another. He wanted me to come visit, so I did a visit, toured the school, loved everything about the program, loved the facilities, loved the field, all that stuff. So I was 100% set on going to Hobart. For Liam, he was looking at a bunch of different schools, um, kind of in the same league actually. Hobart was one of them. St. Lawrence was another one that was really interested in him, and then a school down in Texas. I forget the name of it, but we were both able to get a great deal from Hobart. So it just was kind of fate. Obviously, we had talked about it being roommates. Like, oh, it would be awesome to go to school together again. Because we're great friends. We don't want to lose each other like to distance or whatever. He's from the Netherlands, so that definitely played a factor. But yeah, the way that worked out, I couldn't have asked for a better roommate at the time, and then friend to come with me.
That seemed at the time really awesome for you guys. And so you two are at Hobart now, and during your first semester there, Liam has his health scare on the field and eventually has to leave the school. How did that affect you mentally to see the one person you knew and your best friend go through that and eventually leave school and stop playing college soccer because of it?
Yeah, it was really hard. It was really, really hard. We had gotten to the school, and it wasn't as great as we expected it to be. Obviously, we had each other, and that was super helpful because we actually matched up our schedules. So we had every class together. We had training together. We had lifts together. We had everything together, basically. So we were with each other the whole time. And he was kind of like, we were each other's rocks, basically, right? So, like, one person was struggling, they would talk to the other person and vice versa, right? So we were just a moral support system for each other the whole time. And yeah, Liam unfortunately had a bit of a heart issue, and it had an incident on the field where he felt like he couldn't breathe and his chest was really hurting. So for me, it was really, really tough to see something like that happen because we were both coming into a place. We wanted a fresh start. We didn't want to have any problems or anything like that. And to have that happen within the first couple of months it was just gut wrenching. And there were nights where it was really hard for him to sleep, and we weren't, sleeping the way we should have as athletes, college athletes, with classes in the morning, lifts in the morning, and then practice later. So when you factor that stuff in on top of like the stresses of school, the stresses of practice, trying to make new friends, trying to fit in at a new school, it was definitely really hard to stay focused.
Yeah, no, those can definitely be some of the challenges of transferring to a new school, and that will lead into my final question. So, you're at a new school now. You're nowhere near any friends and family now, and your best friend and one of the only people you know at the school has just left. And unfortunately, you're not getting the playing time you expected at your new school. Can you tell me about what your thought process was and how mentally you were trying to approach this? And ultimately, what caused you to leave Hobart?
Yeah, for sure. So again, like I said, goalkeeping is like probably one of the hardest mental positions in the game of soccer right now. And unfortunately, I walked into a position where I was again the second or the third guy in line behind a great starter, and it I didn't have any hard feelings towards him or the coach or anything like that, but it just wasn't a spot where I felt like I was bettering myself going forward. And then, you know, when I lost my best friend and my roommate and the one person that I could go to consistently every day to vent or to talk to or just have fun together and laugh a bit after long hard days, it was really hard for me mentally to see the light at the end of the tunnel kind of, so when he left probably about a month before I did to go back to the Netherlands to see his doctor and all that stuff. So that month was one of the darkest places for me. I wasn't playing where I wanted to be. I wasn't anywhere near. I didn't have that many friends. I didn't feel like where I was academically represented where I wanted to be. So there was a number of different things that I was trying to cope with during this time, which inevitably led to boiling over. And then I said, you know what, I need to, at this time, maybe I should start putting my long term career in front of my sports career, even though I wanted to keep playing soccer at the highest level that I could be. The way that it had worked out over the past 3 years just wasn't where I wanted it to be. And so I decided to just leave altogether and find a new place to better myself.
And where did that place bring you to?
Yeah, for sure. So now I'm at University of Massachusetts Lowell, back home in Mass, not too far, 20 minutes or so from my house, which is nice. And pretty close to Merrimack. So all my boys at Merrimack, I continue to talk with them and I watch their games and interact with them and have good banter, soccer banter with all those guys. So it's great. It's great to be back in Mass.
That's awesome. And Cooper, on behalf of myself and LRT Sports, thank you for taking the time and sharing your story. Hopefully, your story can help future student athletes in their decisions to transfer schools and what the college recruiting process will be like. So, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.